I got disgusted and just said okay when my fiancé broke up with me. I had been with my fiancé Alex for 4 years. We met at a friend's party back in 2020 and just clicked. We moved in together a year later and things were good, until they weren't. Alex finished his PhD in economics last year. I have a master's in media science and decided not to pursue a doctorate. I started working right after graduation and over time, started earning more than him. That didn't seem like a problem to me. He was chasing his goal and I was doing well. I believed we were building a life together. I was happy to support him while he finished his studies. I never rubbed it in his face or made it about control. But something changed over the last few months. It started with small things. One week he said we needed to repaint the apartment from dark green to white. I asked why. He snapped, "Forget it," and never brought it up again. Another time I was lying on the couch with cramps, blanket over my head, Netflix on, house spotless, and he came in furious. Said I was just sitting there all day. I tried to talk to him, and again he shut me down. It's not a big deal. That was the pattern. He'd act pissed. I'd ask what was wrong, and he'd insist he was fine. But he clearly wasn't. He started nitpicking everything. The apartment, the couch, me. I could feel his resentment building, but he refused to have a real conversation. I decided to give him space. Told him I'd be at my parents' house helping with repairs for a few days. That was also wrong. Apparently, he'd been planning to renovate the apartment and was upset I wasn't around to help, even though he never said a word about it beforehand. Then last Monday, I got a text from him saying we needed to talk. I already knew where it was heading. I'd spent the past month emotionally bracing for it. When I got home, he didn't even let me take off my coat before saying he wanted to break up. Then he launched into a full-on monologue. Told me he resented me for not pursuing a PhD, even though he had encouraged me to start working. Said he hated that I made more money, even though he insisted on not splitting expenses evenly because he wanted to feel like a man. He said he hated our couch, our walls, even our damn crockpot. Then he hit me with this. Apparently, he got into a more prestigious PhD program overseas a few years ago and didn't tell me. He stayed here because I had already started my job. And now, he says, I ruined his life because he sees how well his friend in that program is doing. He never even told me he applied. Then he accused me of having too much control over his life, that I could just stop paying for stuff and screw him over financially. He also complained that his friends like me too much and wouldn't let him vent about me. Then he said, again, I'm done. At that point, all I could feel was disgust. I had already accepted the breakup, but after hearing that, hearing how he twisted our entire relationship into this bitter, selfish narrative, I had nothing left. I looked at him and said, okay. He exploded. Said I was proving his point, that we were together for years and all I had to say was, okay? He acted like I had spit in his face. I asked if he wanted to stay at the apartment while he figured out where to go. He accused me of holding it over him and stormed off on another rant. I left. Told my parents everything. My dad told me to contact the landlord to get Alex's name off the lease. I can afford rent on my own and honestly, I'd rather scrub the floors of a roach motel than keep living with him. To clarify, I never made money an issue. I never threw it in his face. I saw him working hard toward his goals and I supported that. I didn't care about 50-50 because it didn't feel like his or my money. It felt like ours. We were building something together, or so I thought. Now he's sending cold texts about logistics one day and rage-fueled essays the next. He flips between sounding robotic and lashing out. I don't even feel hurt anymore. So yeah, I said, okay, because what else do you say to someone who's already made you the villain of a story they never let you read?